In this video, you'll learn how to secure a Cloudflare tunnel using Cloudflare Zero Trust Access, so only approved users can reach your self-hosted application. Let's start from the Cloudflare Zero Trust dashboard. Once you're logged in, look for the Access section in the side menu and then choose Applications. This is where you define which internal apps or services are protected by Cloudflare's access policies. If you've never been here before, think of this page as the control center for who can get to what when they're coming through your tunnel. Next, you're going to add a new application. At the top of the applications page, click the button that says Add an application. Cloudflare will ask what type of app you want to protect. In this case, select self-hosted. This tells Cloudflare that the application lives on your own infrastructure, but it will be exposed securely through Cloudflare Tunnel. Now you'll be taken to the application configuration screen. Here you need to enter the host name or subdomain that users will visit when they access your app. For example, you might use something like lab.yourdomain.com. Make sure this exactly matches the hostname you've configured for your Cloudflare tunnel. If the tunnel is already set up to expose an internal service on that subdomain, this step is simply connecting the Zero Trust Access layer to that same address. Take a moment to double check the subdomain you type. If there's a typo or it doesn't match the tunnel configuration, your policy might not apply correctly, and people could see errors when they try to connect. Once you're sure it's correct, continue to the policy setup section. Here is where you define who is allowed to access this application. You're going to create an allow rule that is based on specific email addresses. Cloudflare calls this your access policy, and it will be evaluated every time someone tries to visit the subdomain you just configured. Start by making sure the action for your rule is set to allow. This tells Cloudflare that anyone matching the conditions you define here should be granted access. Then, under the include section, choose the option for emails. In the field that appears, enter the email address or addresses that should be allowed to use this application. This might be your own email or a set of trusted team members. Avoid using generic or shared inboxes if you can. Personal accounts are easier to track and revoke later if necessary. By using email-based rules, you're essentially saying only people who can authenticate with these specific email accounts are permitted to reach this service. It's a simple but effective way to lock down a lab environment, an internal tool, or any self-hosted app behind your tunnel. Finally, make sure authentication is enabled so that Cloudflare actually challenges visitors when they arrive. With authentication in place, users will be prompted to sign in with the email address you specified, verifying their identity before they ever reach your origin server. This means your private service is no longer directly exposed to the internet. Every request is filtered through this zero trust check. Once you've reviewed the subdomain and your allow policy, save the application. From now on, when someone tries to access that Cloudflare tunnel endpoint, only the authenticated email addresses you included will be able to get through.